So I decided to go to RGU for a couple of reasons. When I was at Academy, I thankfully got the grades that I needed for university in my 5th year, which meant I was able to have a bit of freedom with what I wanted to do in my 6th. So in my 6th year, I chose to do an open university course in law. So really enjoyed the module, really enjoyed the course, and that kind of confirmed to me that I had an area of interest in law and it was a possible career option. So from that, I then thought about potentially doing law, but I also recognised that I had other areas of interest. So I also was interested in kind of other business activities like economics and project management, and therefore I was looking for a degree that suited the two. So I thought that law management was really a good fit for me because it allowed me to further my understanding of both areas over a period of time before then kind of having to make a decision about what career path I wanted to follow. So I think in terms of the course, it was really the flexibility of the course and its applicability to a lot of different career options down the line. In terms of RGU itself, as I said, I wanted to stay in Aberdeen, so I'm a bit of a home bird, so that's where I wanted to stay. My friends and family are here. But I think for RGU itself, it was something that really their focus on applying the theory from university to the workplace really appealed to me, and their real focus on getting, practical experience through placements and other initiatives was something that I was interested in. And then of course the diversity and flexibility of the courses that RGU has on offer appealed to me, and my course is obviously a good example of just that. So starting with my proudest moment, I would say my biggest achievement would probably be achieving the Law Management Student of the Year for the 4 years of my course. I've always been someone who is very driven and really goal orientated, so I really did push myself with my studies at university. So I think it was really special to me to win that because it was really recognition that I had achieved the goals that I'd set myself in the beginning. And I think looking back, it makes you really appreciate the importance of goal setting. I genuinely believe that having something that defined a target that you're working towards is a really useful tool in kind of continual development and self-improvement. So that's definitely very special to me, and I think RGU having awards like those that kind of recognise success and achievements is a really fantastic thing, and something that I hope you guys continue to do. In terms of my biggest challenge, I would probably say throughout university my biggest challenge was trying to get the balance right. I think because I am someone who's quite goal orientated, I often did put quite a lot of pressure on myself to achieve certain standards at university. And while that's important and is a good skill, at the same time university I think is about more than that. It's also about expanding your network and getting involved in new experiences, building your social circle, a lot of different things, and I think ultimately it's about enjoying yourself. I don't think there's any point in doing anything in life if you're just miserable. So I think it's really about, for students, getting the balance right between achieving academically but then also developing yourself personally and ultimately kind of protecting your mental health and your happiness at the same time. So it was definitely something that was a challenge for me. I think in my latter years I was able to identify that that's something I needed to work on, had some coping mechanism, things like that, but was a challenge. But yeah, I think it's about being self-aware, and you can be able to build on that if you recognise the areas that you need to. So. So I decided to do an internship in Hong Kong in the summer of my 3rd year. So I really chose to do that because, unlike a lot of other degrees at RGU, law and management doesn't have the opportunity to do like a full year placement, and that's really because of its ties to the LLB. But I recognised that getting as much varied experience from as early on as possible would really benefit me and allow me to take a lot of those learnings that I had from university and apply them over to the workplace, get some practical experience. So, and I think that's really important not only for the development of yourself, but also kind of makes you stand out in terms of your CV and appealing to future employers. So when I got the opportunity, really jumped at the chance. I thought it would be a really good way to challenge myself, get out of your comfort zone a little bit as well. So I spent some time within a fashion marketing brand in Hong Kong, really focus on social media. So very different to my current role now, and obviously not directly applicable, but I think the kind of personal and professional developments that I got from that time in Hong Kong was really useful for my career as an early graduate. So I got a bit of experience working internationally, working with different cultures, which I think is increasingly important in today's world. And I also got to grow a bit and be a bit more independent, both kind of in my own personal life and also in terms of the workplace. So yeah, I thought it was a really great opportunity, and would definitely encourage any future graduates or people who are currently at university and looking for ways to help them stand out to try and get involved in initiatives like that, because it is a really useful opportunity. So I think from a very early on, when I was kind of deciding what degree I wanted to do, I recognised that I had kind of varied interests, so there was always from the very start kind of multiple career options available for me. I definitely wasn't someone who started my degree with a defined career plan, and I think that probably resonates a lot with people nowadays. I think we're moving away from having kind of one single role in one company throughout your lifetime. We're kind of doing lots of different things in different industries and different companies through our life. So for me, I always kind of recognised that I might not necessarily follow the kind of traditional path. So I decided to graduate with the BA Honours in Law and Management after the 4 years and not pursue a kind of qualifications to become a practising solicitor. But I kind of always recognised that that was something I could always come back to later in life. If I decided that, a couple of years down the line I wanted to become a practising solicitor, I could come back and do that. And I think that's also an important thing for people to remember, is that you're not stuck down one career path simply because you've gone to uni to study something, or your first job was in this or that. And that's something that I definitely try and remember when I'm kind of career mapping now, is that you can have lots of different experiences doing lots of different things, and they're all useful in some way. So ultimately did the law and management degree, graduated, and then because I had those varied interests and I wanted to get some practical experience, I decided to go and try and get a job. So admittedly at the time I didn't necessarily know what exactly it is that I wanted to do, but I did recognise that there were certain elements that I wanted in a job, which I think is important. You maybe don't need to know the role that you want to do, but kind of understand a little bit of what you're looking for. So for me, I was looking for an opportunity that allowed me to get kind of insight into a lot of different areas of the business, so that I could understand, right, my skill set is X, Y, and Z, in I could do this job, or in 5 or 10 years I could do something else. So I was really looking for something that allowed me to do that. And then I was also looking for a role that really gave me responsibility and challenge as well, and would really help me develop. So when the commercial opportunity at TAQA came up, that was definitely something that really interested me, and that I jumped at the opportunity to do. So I started in 2016 as an associate within the commercial team, and then was promoted to a kind of commercial advisor, fully fledged commercial advisor, in September last year. So I currently look after the Northern North Sea, so I provide commercial support to TAQA's Northern North Sea assets. So that's 4 platforms and a variety of joint ventures and tiebacks. I also chair the operational CAS group, and I provide support to the management of our sales contracts for the entirety of our crude and gas entitlement. And I also like to get involved when I can with other kind of TAQA initiatives, so anything to do with schools or engagements, or kind of promoting the industry and STEM subjects. I like to do that, and also part of the charity committee as well. So TAQA allows you to get involved in a variety of different areas. In terms of my experience to date, TAQA really definitely has a culture of empowerment, and I think over time, with me having the ability to kind of demonstrate capabilities, then really inspire kind of trust from the senior management and the leadership team in me, so they've given me kind of increasing responsibilities. And as I say, while that's been daunting at times, it really definitely has allowed me to develop and learn in a relatively short time frame. So I know the leadership team here are always willing to give me challenges and tasks that I know other organisations may give to people who are more experienced or more senior, so definitely really grateful for that. In terms of my experience within commercial, I think commercial is a really interesting area. I think it's actually a fantastic training ground for graduates, because commercial, you kind of act as the core of the asset quite a lot of the time. So you are able to get kind of interaction with a lot of different business areas, and therefore you kind of develop an understanding of the industry and how it works quite quickly, which is really useful. You also get exposure to the senior leadership team quite often, and you also get to really network outside the organisation as well, building relationship with partners and other people, which I think is really useful. And I think crucially with commercial, it really builds a solid foundation of really highly transferable skills, whether that's applying in the energy industry or somewhere else in the future, which I think again is really a great trait of commercial. So I think it's a really fantastic area. I just wish more people knew about commercial than what we did. But yeah, so no, fantastic experience with TAQA today. I think I've been really lucky to find such a great fit in terms of both role and company as well. So it felt fantastic to be nominated for Graduate of the Year, and then to have been shortlisted for the top 3 and then to have won was really amazing. Interestingly, a lot of the graduates who had previously been shortlisted were all from a technical background, so either engineers or production chemists or whatever it might be. And although those people have done definitely fantastic things and they are highly deserving of those awards, it was really rewarding for me to kind of represent the support functions within the industry. I really felt like that was one thing that I was really proud of, to have kind of represented that area, because I think we've got a lot to give as well. So, you know, more specifically, commercial as a specialist or as a support function, their emphasis on trying to help the kind of wider organisation. And I think the thing about commercial is that it's an area that's really a fantastic training ground for graduates, but not a lot of people necessarily know what it is that we do. Even people within the industry don't often know what kind of commercial actually do. Myself, when I joined TAQA, I didn't really understand what we do on a day-to-day basis, but now that I'm in the role, I understand kind of all of the benefits that it can bring. So in terms of, you know, your ability to network out with partners, your ability to understand the overall business, you're building kind of highly transferable skills. I think it really is a fantastic opportunity for graduates, and I think it's a shame that that's not promoted more in a way. So, you know, there may be people who are at university who are like me, who are really keen to get involved in the industry and have a certain set of skills, but maybe don't quite know where they fit. So I would really like to, if I can, as part of kind of winning the award, if I can spark an interest in someone else who is not quite sure where they fit, but might have, you know, a sense of interest in commercial or any other support function, if I can kind of make them aware of that through winning the award, that would definitely be amazing and really rewarding for me.